them weather aware, that's for sure.
Folks, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this too. Night tornadoes, they're absolutely the worst because, again, it is hard for spotters to place exactly where they are. So nighttime tornadoes, it's kind of what you call a broad brush. It's not one specific area that needs to take tornado precautions because it could be a multi-vortex. We don't know. This has a history of producing big, long-track tornadoes. Again, Phillip Mcgee right now, from his vantage point, it looks like there's still a tornado on the ground. We're seeing it on radar as well. So again, from really the Shattuck area to the north, again, just broad brush. Everyone around those locations, really from 283 to the west, immediate tornado precautions right now. And then even across all of northern Ellis County, you folks are under a tornado warning. The storm is going to track across northern Ellis County. Don't wait. Now's the time to do it. Take your tornado precautions right now. Nighttime tornadoes, they're a bad, bad deal. I can tell you that right now. Phillip, back to you. I know you're still on the live line with us. Tell us where you are. Are you driving through the town of Shattuck right now? That's what it looks like.
Absolutely, William. And, you know, I'm not really exactly sure why the sirens aren't even going off here in the town of Shattuck. I know that they definitely should be. And so not exactly sure why they haven't sounded the sirens. People should definitely be taking their tornado precautions at this moment.
Phillip, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this right now, Phillip. That's going to cross, it's going to cross 283 just to your north. I know you're driving through the town of Shattuck. Once you get to the north of Shattuck, literally 2 to 3 miles to your north, the center of circulation, it's going to cross 283. So it's literally, it's really, if you're looking to the north, it's off to your northwest right now, but it's going to cross right in front of you here in literally 5 minutes or less. 5 minutes or less, it's going to cross right in front of you just on the northern sides of Shattuck. It sounds like the sirens are sounding now. Is that right? I hear them.
Roll the window up.
Is that the sirens going off now in Shattuck?
The hail curve's gotten huge on this storm. I believe that it's picked up in a lot of intensity here just lately. And we are just now exiting on the north end of Shattuck. We should be able to get a good clear view of this as it does pass across Highway 283.
Phillip, let me tell you this. 2 miles to the north of Shattuck, I would stop. I wouldn't go any further to the north. Again, that center of circulation is going to pass just to your north. It's crossing just to your north, and it's literally going to cross here in about a minute. So you got about a minute to get just about 2 miles to the north of Shattuck. Again, I wouldn't go any further. You're going to drive. You don't want to go any further. I'll just put it that way. And again, it should be crossing right in front of you at that time. So again, as you're looking off to the north, even to the northwest, again, we see the lightning there. Whatever the lightning is lighting up, we should be able to see what's going on live right now.
Absolutely. We're coming out of the town of Shattuck right now, William, and you can definitely see, and now I'm not seeing the tornado on the ground right now, but just tremendous amount of cloud-to-ground lightning. Noticing that the winds coming down off of this storm right now have actually, well, I'm not going to say that they've changed directions yet because we're still in town, so that's kind of deceiving sometimes.
All right, yeah, from the looks of radar, Phillip, it looks like there's still a good possibility that it could potentially still be on the ground. Again, we're still getting a tight, and in fact, in that shot I just saw, I can see the lowering right in front of you. Folks, with the lightning, I see the lowering right here. It's right in front of Phillip. Watch the next, see, there it is right there. There it is. Phillip, it's due north of you. There's the bell shape. Watch right here. Watch where my fingers are when the lightning strikes again. There's the bell shape. So that's the mesocyclone. It's due north of Phillip. There's the lowering right there, Phillip. So anything that's going on, it's right in front of you. It's due north in front of you right now. And again, it's a large. Did you see? That's the mesocyclone. That's the mesocyclone right there. The mesocyclone is large.
Very large. Has a large inflow band coming into the storm itself, and very, very violent.
Boom! Here it is, right there. But Phillip, but we can't really see, especially here on the stream. It's so dark. What are you seeing? Is it on the ground? Can you see anything on the ground right now?
I'm not seeing anything on the ground right now, William. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not seeing anything right now, but that doesn't mean that within just a matter of just a few seconds that it couldn't put a large tornado down.
Let me tell you this. The center of rotation, I'm going to go back to the velocities here real quick because it looks like the whole thing is spinning. The whole thing here is spinning, and that's why we're seeing that big old huge bell-shaped mesocyclone lowering, okay? Because the whole storm, the whole thing is rotating. But Phillip, it looks like we're kind of getting a little high-velocity couplet now trying to develop kind of on the north, really the northwesterly flank. Now, the whole thing is rotating. That doesn't mean to say there's still not maybe a little something going on right here. Again, we have another high velocity couplet that just crossed 283. There could be a little something here, but see, we're also getting a little something right up in here too. So the whole thing is rotating. Really, at any point around this storm, we could have some kind of little vortice coming down, but the bottom line is it's crossing 283. You're looking due north at it, so whatever's happening, you're going to see. And again, we just really have to wait for the lightning to light up the sky, and again, you're going to see whatever's going on up there. But again, the whole thing is spinning. It's low. The whole cloud base is extremely low. Large mesocyclone. Again, the only problem right now, we just can't confirm if there's actually a tornado on the ground or not. Phillip Mcgee, what are you seeing now? All right, we're going to check back in with Phillip here in just a second. Again, Phillip Mcgee, he's right there to the north of Shattuck. And again, he's looking live at this storm. Tornado warning does continue for Ellis County until 9:15 this evening. And again, it's really the center of circulation is just now on the northern sides of Shattuck. Again, it's crossing 283. Again, that's where Phillip Mcgee is. We're just hooking back in here with him on the phone. Cell service up there is just a little spotty. So again, we're going to talk to him here in just a second. We see a large lowering. The whole storm is rotating. That does not necessarily mean that there's a tornado on the ground. This storm does have a history of producing larger tornadoes out in the Texas Panhandle. That doesn't mean that's what's going on now, but again, with the tornado warning in effect, we have to take this seriously, especially with the history that this storm has had. So again, really all of northern Ellis County, again, heads up, tornado warning does continue until 9:15 this evening. Phillip, you're back on the live line with us. Again, tell us what you're seeing right now.
Okay, from our screen, William, you can see that lowering, that big bell lowering that you're talking about. We're going to stay on the south end of this because we're actually into the inflow right now, and the winds have picked up tremendously. It's hard to tell, like we said, because of it being dark. The lightning is actually lightening up pretty good right now, but
right.
There is just a lot of motion in this whole thing.
Okay, so really what we saw, this was about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Again, we saw the large base, the large lowering, the whole storm's rotating. That's why we've got this large base. The thing that we can't confirm right now because it's dark, nighttime tornadoes, they're the worst. It's a really bad deal, okay? So we can't confirm if there's actually a tornado on the ground. Tornado warning does continue, and folks, I'm telling you, across northern Ellis County, take your tornado precautions now. Don't wait, don't waste time. This storm does have a history of producing large tornadoes. It doesn't mean there's a large tornado on the ground right now. We can't confirm that. We can't visually see it. But again, the whole storm is rotating, and there is the opportunity for a tornado to come down if it's not already down at any time under the storm. So all of northern Ellis County, tornado precautions right now. Absolutely don't waste time. Do it right now. Again, Phillip Mcgee, he's on 283 looking to the north. I know this looks fairly dark, but we're basically having to wait for lightning to light up the sky. And as that happens, again, earlier we saw the base, we saw the large lowering, but again, we couldn't tell if there was something under it. So Phillip, go ahead and bring us back up to date. Again, what you're seeing right there, your eyes are on it there live in the field.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, William. We are just to the north of Shattuck, and we're definitely
Hey Phillip, Mcgee,
moving up to the north.
Hey Phillip Mcgee, let me tell you this real quick. With the latest velocity data here, you know, if you're just north of Shattuck right now, again, this whole thing is rotating. That's why I was just saying the whole thing is rotating. But we've really got a high velocity couplet forming just on the northwestern sides of 283. And in fact, Phillip, you know what? If you can go further north, if this thing is on the ground, it's still west of 283. We've got a high velocity couplet gate to gate. Not very wide, but we may have something on the ground. It's going to be just north of Shattuck. In fact, it's going to be approaching. Let me see what highway that is there. Let me see what highway this is here. It's 283 and State Route 15. It's going to be right there at the 15-283 junction. And again, if anything's on the ground, that's where it's going to be, right there. You see where that red and green it meets, high velocity gate-to-gate couplet, right there at 15 and 283. So Phillip's right down in here. Phillip, if you can just shoot to the north real quick and get up there closer to the 15, we may see something crossing literally right now. There's Phillip's live GPS. We have live GPS. There's where he is right there. So he's now shooting to the north. And Phillip, I mean, you're literally maybe 2 miles to the south of it. You're literally 2 miles from your live GPS location there. You're 2 miles to the south of it. What are you seeing as you're looking off to the north?
Okay. Yeah, we are definitely we're getting close to the actual main part of the storm. There are storm trackers everywhere up here right now, and so for safety's sakes, I think we're closer than what our GPS location is actually showing. And so, but we definitely see the exact same thing that you do as far as this storm. Turn your lights off.
Hey, Phillip, it looks like, it literally looks like it's on the, from here it looks like it's on the ground. With the latest velocity data coming in here, it looks like it's on the ground. It's crossing the 15 and the 283. I don't know for sure exactly where you are. You don't want to pass the 15, but where you are, again, if you're going to pull off there, that's fine. But again, just make sure we have a good shot because we need to look off to the north, let the lightning light up the sky, and if there's anything there, we're going to see it. How far to the south from the 15 are you? Can you see on your GPS?
How far to the south? Hold on one second. We're gonna check here just a second.
Okay. So Phillip Mcgee, he's live right now. He's to the north of Shattuck. He's on 283. Tornado warning continues for northern Ellis County till 9:15. So a very serious situation now for northern Ellis County. We're talking about far northwestern Oklahoma. Let's go back to the overview here real quick. Phillip, he's positioning his GPS. We don't want him to get too close, but he might be able to get just a little bit closer. So we're checking on that. Let's go ahead and go to the overview. I want to go and take a look at the overview here real quick. And Phillip, you can go all the way to about a mile south of the 15, just so you know, that junction right there. But let's go back here to the overview. Let's take a look here and see what we have going on. Let's just go and zoom this out here. So a new tornado watch at least does continue for all of western Oklahoma into central Oklahoma. That's until 3 a.m. in the morning. We have a tornado warning in effect for, again, northern Ellis County. That's in effect until 9:15. Right now, it's a radar indicated tornado. We're waiting on a visual. Phillip Mcgee, he's literally 2 miles to the south of where the tornado could potentially cross. So again, we're waiting on a visual, but again, right now, all indications are a tornado could potentially be on the ground. This storm has a long history of producing large tornadoes. It doesn't mean there's a large tornado on the ground now, but again, any tornado can do damage. So again, immediate tornado precautions, all of northern Ellis County. Don't take this storm lightly. Tornado warning also continues for far southern Beaver County as well. A possible tornado lifting to the north into far southern Beaver County. Tornado warning there in effect until 9:45. Phillip, where are you at now? Go and bring us back up to date. Phillip Mcgee, are you still on the live line with us? Okay.
We're headed towards 15, and I totally agree with what you're saying. If that tornado is not on the ground, then I don't know what would be.
How many miles?
Very high velocity showing up on radar right now. We're trying to get in position up there by 15 so that we could take a look to the north and see.
Let me ask you this real quick. How far to the south from the 15 were you?
Within a couple of miles.
Okay, you can go just a little bit further. You can go a little bit further. I mean, don't get too close. Stay about at least 3 miles to the south. 3 miles to the south of the 15. But that's where the center of rotation is. And in fact, you know, here's the latest velocity. Let's switch radars here. It looks like it's already crossed. It's already crossed the 283 there. It's crossed the 283. And again, folks, when we're looking at the red and green here, these are wind fields. These are radar estimated wind fields. We use these to look for circulation and for shear in the storms. It's a little bit of a different presentation. I know if you live in Oklahoma, you're probably fairly used to this presentation, especially in the spring. But again, what we're looking at here now, we're scanning, we're looking for rotation within the storm. And again, right now, the center of rotation, it's really crossing over and passing over now the 283. Let me do one other thing here. I want to put this into a different mode here real quick. And I actually want to go and put this into meso mode real quick here. And Phillip, go ahead and if you have anything to add, go ahead and let us know. But again, folks, this is a different presentation. And this is actually meso mode, specifically looking for shear or the shear rate within the storm. And it normalizes it. And again, it looks like, at least radar indicated, there was most likely something on the ground there, again, passing over 283. Phillip, what are you seeing from your location there, 2 miles to the south?
Okay, we're trying to get to a good spot because it's kind of a hilly terrain out here. We're getting very close to that circulation for sure, though. I mean, we can see all of the motion in the clouds. Some of the other storm spotters that are out taking a look at this are actually, okay, we've got damage on the ground right now. I don't know if you've just seen it on our stream. But,
hold on, let's go back to your stream. Let's go back to your stream. What kind of damage? What are you seeing? Say that again. You cut out real quick there, Phillip. What kind of damage did you see?
Pull over right here. Pull over right here. Large tree branches laying across the road.
Okay. Okay. Is that are you now north of the 15, or where are you at exactly?
We have not made it to the 15 yet.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking that this, again, earlier we had made the statement that it was a multiple vortex, which is highly possible with this storm, as it's been doing that before. And so we are, we're going to go ahead and try and make our way up there. We just had an emergency vehicle. We had to pull over.
Let me say this real quick, Phillip. We've got a
us.
donut hole. Folks, we've got a donut hole here on reflectivity. We've got a donut hole. This is a sink drain. Look at that right there. Everything's sinking into this. Again, we don't have a visual confirmation that it's on the ground. Phillip Mcgee seeing some damage. We have radar estimates that it's probably on the ground. We've got a donut hole. Phillip, we've got a donut hole on the eastern sides of 283. This storm has a history of producing some fairly large tornadoes. Phillip, as you get north of 215, we need to look for damage. That's going to give us a good idea what was on the ground, if there was anything on the ground. Again, just to the north of 283, we had a donut hole. It's not even a hook echo. We had a donut hole pass over 283. And again, that would at least give you some indication that it could be a fairly, medium type tornado. Other times you can get a donut hole when a storm is trying to occlude or cut itself off. So it's really two different scenarios. But Phillip, you're right there. Just on the northern sides of 215, you've really got to let us know what you're seeing there. We're going to go back to your stream. Tell us where you are right now, Phillip. Tell us if you made it to 215.
Okay,
we see emergency lights flashing now in front of you here.
And we have not made it to the 215 yet.
Okay.
It appears that it's going to be directly in front of us here in just a little bit. Have not seen any damage yet on the highway other than the tree limbs that were laying across the road. And so now that was a couple of miles south of the 215, which we're at 15 right now.
Okay, so look, just on the northern sides of the 15. This is important now, folks. Now what we're trying to do, we're trying to ground verify. It's dark. We couldn't tell if a tornado was actually on the ground. We know if there was a tornado where Phillip's about to drive through, this is where that donut hole passed over. So if that donut hole is an actual tornado on the ground, we're now looking for ground verification. Is there damage? Is it tornado type damage? That's what we're about to find out here in about a minute as Phillip continues to the north. So in real time, live, we're now about to see if there was actually a tornado on the ground. Phillip's going to ground verify here in just a second. If we do have some type of damage, again, we may have some type of estimate what type of tornado this is, again, if it is on the ground. This storm does have a history of producing some fairly large tornadoes. The structure of the storm is a little bit different now. We're probably not anticipating as large of a tornado as we saw earlier tonight, but again, with the structure of the storm, a tornado definitely would have been possible, again, passing over this 283 area. Phillip, I saw, tell us what's going on.
Okay, we just passed the 15.